Hey guys, what's up? How are you doing today? Welcome back to this YouTube channel. It's your guy Igor here. Guys, in today's video I'll tell you my story of renting in Canada, because you probably know I've been here for quite some time now. I came to Canada in August 2012. Right now living in Calgary, that's why I'm making a video from here. But before this place I used to live in Toronto, in Scarborough, basically Scarborough, Ontario. Not exactly Toronto, but geographically it is considered to be Toronto, guys. And I want to tell you about my rental story here in Canada as international student, then as international worker, and later on as permanent resident. Guys, my citizenship test is in 10 days now. So 10 days from the day when I'm recording this video. I'm so freaking pumped up right now. I know some of you be like, Igor, why the hell did you bring a portable heater, New Air, to your vlog today about rent in Canada? Guys, this is my favorite heater so far, New Air. I'll tell you later why I brought it, but I brought it because it is cold and you have to know that you will need a portable heater just like this one when you're renting in Canada. I'll tell you later why. Listen up. First, I stayed with a Canadian family, and for those of you guys who are interested in what is a Canadian family and how it's like staying with a Canadian family, you have to first realize that most of Canadian families that are doing this kind of services are actually immigrant families, immigrants to Canada. Those guys who came to Canada maybe 20, maybe 30 years before you or me, before me immigrated. Now I finally purchased my place, so the place where I'm living right now, I own it. Me and my wife, okay? But before that, we used to rent a lot, and I used to rent a room in a Canadian family from one of these agencies that they're offering from the college services, like that helps. They say the food is provided. They say you're going to integrate into Canadian culture better. They say this is going to be helpful for your English, for your studies, and everything. No, this is pretty much true. It is also freaking expensive, you know. Renting something from a Canadian family, it is expensive, guys. Like $800 for one room. There is a apartment complexes there, you know. In one of those apartment complexes there, you can actually rent like an entire unit for $1,200, right? You know that $800 for one room is too much, even if the food is included, right? First of all, my experience, let me tell you this, guys, it's expensive. And the food was most of the time bad. You know, it was 3 meals included into the option that I chose. So 2 meals, the breakfast and the lunch, was a hot dog for breakfast, hot dog for lunch, and a proper dinner. Sometimes the hot dogs had moldy bun, so it was like green, you know, the stuff disgusting that you shouldn't be eating. So that was my challenge. And at the same time, I don't want to offend the person, the lady, the landlord. She was a decent and nice lady to stay with, but at the same time the food was not as good. It was expensive. $800, as I said. You can rent an apartment for $1,200 in downtown Calgary for yourself, like without anyone. The kitchen was not accessible for me. I was not allowed to use the kitchen on my own, so that was like a thing that like pissed me off the most. Like it was just, I was like a passively aggressive person. I wouldn't say that, but I was extremely pissed that I couldn't use the kitchen by myself, and that's the reason why I moved out of that place. And once again, Canadian families like to save up on electricity, so New Air, this guy's my best friend right now, heater I got for myself. It's really good, but they shut down the electricity, and sometimes you're like, are they trying to torture you or see if you are going to move out or something? But people are trying to save up on their electricity bill, on their gas, on their hydro, you know, all those things that it's expensive in Canada to have your household expenses, and people are trying to cut them down, especially people who are immigrants, who are new to this country, trying to save every single dollar and keep up with the bills and everything. And I'm telling you once again, usually immigrants are the ones who are renting out their rooms to fellow students to make some extra income through those agencies. Long story short, guys, in 2 months I was out of that place. I wanted to move out and I almost got kicked out because I just couldn't find a common tongue with the landlord, and even though the lady was really good person, I just thought that I was getting ripped off, and living in a place where you know you're getting ripped off and you're not getting the value for what you're paying for, I have all the right to be pissed off about it, and I wanted to move out. I ended up renting a place, my own apartment, with two guys, one from Ukraine and one from Russia. So 2 Ukrainian guys and 1 Russian guy in one apartment. Main challenges, guys: number 1, getting the rent from everyone. Number 2, the guys were partying and making lots of noise. Number 3, the heating. So I had a portable heater in my bedroom. It was serving 2 purposes. Number 1 was getting extra heat. Number 2, it was like making a decent amount of noise, so I wouldn't be hearing those guys playing online games in the middle of the night. Now the biggest challenge was, of course, not living with the people or collecting the rent from them, because they were pretty decent guys and they were giving the rent on time. But the problem was that everything was in my name, and later on, like a year after I moved out, I actually got screwed up by those guys. And it's not really by them, but they were kind of involved, right? I'll tell you why. First of all, I was not getting the rental agreement. The company said, what is your status in Canada? International student? Do you have a job? No job. What's your income? No income. How much money do you have? And none of us had money as international students. I was the only one who didn't pay my own tuition, so I had over $20,000 on my bank account, and that's how we got the rental lease agreement from those guys, because I had the money and they put it in my name. Later on, when we moved out, the landlord apparently sued all of the tenants to cancel the contract retroactively to charge more money. So later on, I got charged more money without me even knowing it. I was supposed to be in a court, I didn't even know about it. As the landlord, I was already in Calgary. So what happened is basically landlord went back to the collectors. Collector went after me in Calgary. They contacted my old landlord, and my landlord, she loved me so much, she gave my current phone number to the collectors, and they called me and they said, you owe us money, $260 for the rent that you underpaid us, which I didn't even know. So I paid it off, not a big deal, not a lot of money. I went back to those guys, and I didn't get money from those guys. So I got eventually screwed over because everything was in my name. And that's just a warning for you guys. If you're doing that, get the right people. Make sure you don't get screwed over in the end, and make sure you get the people who are like not going to rob you or not going to make too much of noise. And those guys, most importantly, are going to pay their share of your rent, especially if you're going to take, like I did, responsibility of those people on your lease agreement. So you are probably like, Igor, you didn't tell us how much you paid. I paid $550 from my pocket for my bedroom. It was a master bedroom with my own washroom and toilet, so I didn't have to clean after those guys, right? So they had a share, they had the toilet and the washroom for themselves, and that place was always filthy and disgusting, and they were always arguing whose turn it is to wash the toilet, you know. I didn't have that problem. It was always clean because it was my own, and I was staying there by myself, and I could take shower not feeling disgusted that another person was not cleaning it and just taking showers there. It was filthy. Once I came to their washroom and I said, guys, what the hell? Like, what the hell are you doing? And I'm a little bit of a cleanness freak, so I had conflicts, like guys leaving their dishes in the sink, not cleaning stuff up, not picking up their... No swearing on this channel, okay. Yeah, so that was my challenge, because I'm a little bit of OCD, and I learned about OCD in Canada. I didn't know it is something like that, but I have something, like some spontaneous OCD. Sometimes I'm okay if there is a little bit of mess, but sometimes I'm just, like, I just cannot tolerate it, you know. It was challenging, and yeah, we made it through. I moved to Calgary, guys, and my wife currently rented a basement, and it's freaking cold basement, you know. It was like so cold in the winter because the neighbors upstairs, the heat goes always up, so there was no heat going downstairs, and guys from upstairs, they would shut down the furnace, and you're sitting in the basement, you can hear where people are, and the basement cost about $800, so you can literally hear the people walking upstairs, and people partying, playing loud music, you know, or God forbid, people having sex. You can hear everything, whatever is going on there, right? That's the challenge of having a basement. Now, there was a way to turn on the furnace from the basement. I found a hack for my wife how to do that, but later on the landlord came out and just pulled out that hack and rewired the entire thing, you know, so we couldn't mess with the furnace anymore. But again, portable heater had to get from the other one, had to be sold on Kijiji from Walmart. The other one was got from Canadian Tire, and that was another way to survive this freaking coldness. Why did I bring this one with me? It's because, guys, this one, New Air, guys, it's my current one. This one is like $100, but this is the best one so far. It has a remote control. Now, I'm not one of those people who can sleep when there is lots of noise. So this one really doesn't make any noise when it works. I don't know when it's on or off. It is really energy saving. Right now I live in an apartment, but I still need this one. It's really energy saving, so I can just heat up one room where I am or we are with my wife, and we don't have to heat up the entire place. It has an economy mode too, which saves in electricity. And the only downfall of this heater, I would say, guys, is that I don't know when it's on, so you can leave it on and you might forget about it. I left to my workplace with this thing on a couple of times, but the best thing is, listen up. You hear it shakes, so there's something inside that switches it off. So it falls down like that, it's off. It has a thermostat here, it has everything in Fahrenheit, but it's fine for me in Fahrenheit. It has a remote control. By far the best ever portable heater I have ever had so far. I have a tower one, but I also have a cat. And the tower heater that I have, first of all, my cat likes to rub the back over that heater, and it keeps on falling down and keeps on running as it is on the ground. And guess what? These portable heaters, like that tower, if it falls down, keeps on heating, there's lots of fires, can burn down the entire house. This one making this noise, if you tilt it like this or you drop it on the side or any side, it falls down, it shuts off. Even if you tilt it a little bit, you hear that machine inside that makes that noise, it actually switches off. So this is the best one ever I had, because it's so quiet and so nice, and I think that I did the purchase. It's really good, guys. Now let's get back to the rental topic, guys. Once again, we moved back to an apartment, so we didn't ever rent the entire house. I know some other people did, but again, you have to pay utilities, right? If you're renting a basement, usually you pay less. Like people upstairs would pay probably about 70% of the utilities, and you would pay about 30% because you're in the basement. Apartment is way better than a basement. It is more expensive. It was one bedroom apartment. It was $1,250, I believe, and a basement was a 2-bedroom basement, big kitchen, and it was $800. All I'm saying is, guys, basement is cheaper than the apartment. So I really dislike basements because of the cold issue and because of the need of always having a portable heater with you. I'll leave a link, by the way, for this one if you're interested, because there's only one company selling them. I'll leave a link with a discount for you, only for my subscribers. There is a discount for this, guys. Okay, that's why I don't really like basements. Expensive, loud, disturbing. But also the good thing about the basement, like if you choose between renting a room and a basement, I would say go for a basement, even though once again you can hear everything going upstairs, guys. I would say go for a basement for privacy reasons and for freedom. You can bring your friends, you can bring your partners, whatever you want, whatever your choices. You know, you can figure out, move out, and have some roommates, rotations, and everything, guys. Well, basements in this ways are good. Rent a basement, get a roommate, and sub-rent the room to a person who is renting with you, and you pay it. It will help you pay down and lower down the cost for you. So I encourage you to do that. For the apartments, once again, a little bit challenging. Getting the entire house, you pay more utilities. So not only you pay for the rent, like more than you would pay for the apartment, it's a lot of money. You pay the entire utility bill, so it's really more expensive. But once again, with the house, you get way more privacy. You get probably your own laundry and everything, because when we were renting an apartment, I had to do laundry downstairs where it was shared one, so you had to spend extra money for each load of your laundry. And yeah, it was expensive to do laundry every single week, guys. I don't even know what to tell you anymore, guys. I think I told you pretty much of my entire history of renting here in Canada. let me break it down by price. Cheapest option is renting a room. Second option is that's what I did, renting a room. Second option is renting a basement. That's what my wife did the best. Third option is renting an apartment. That's where we finally got our freedom, and finally we started establishing ourselves as a family in Canada. It was nice, and we didn't have to cope with the guys upstairs or downstairs, and if we had any issues we could even call police or security. So it was totally good, guys. Once again, houses are expensive and you have to bear the entire responsibility for the utility bill. The entire house can be $1,700 plus $300, $400, I don't know, depending on the season, summer and winter, your utility bills can go up. Guys, I want to thank you so much for watching this video and hearing out my story of renting in Canada. I hope this was a little bit helpful, because it was something like, I was just tired this week and I was thinking, guys, what should I tell you? I've told you so much things about myself and everything. I'm just going to tell you my rental story. From Scarborough to Calgary, finally we purchased our own place, guys. Whew. So such a relief. But at the same time, you have to pay interest. You have to pay for principal amount for your mortgage. Interest is like a rent. Principal amount is extra money. Now we have condo fees, and plus the economy is going down. The property prices are depreciating. So I don't know what's the right way to do, guys. You tell me, do you prefer renting or buying your place? Because I hated renting. Now that I purchased my place, I'm thinking that I don't know if I'm going to be able to sell it if I were to decide to sell it right now, because the employment market in Calgary is so tough, so many unemployed people, so much of struggling going on here. So guys, you tell me, because lots of Canadians prefer just renting over buying anything, but me being an immigrant, I totally disagree with this kind of things. I have the thing that I need to own my place. Otherwise, why even have it, right, guys? Alright, I want to thank you so much for watching this video. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't. Really, why the hell you haven't yet subscribed, guys? And thank you so much for those of you guys who already subscribed. We'll see you in the next video. It's your guy Igor here. Freaking shoot a comment below. We'll see you in the next video. How many times am I going to say it? Have a good one, guys. Alright. Oh, so beautiful. Almost summer here. Beautiful, beautiful. Really warm winter, guys. Really warm winter this year. Gotta go home. See you in the next video.